listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
You've had a long day at work, and you can't wait to just get home, take off your shoes, plop yourself down in your favorite chair, and relax. You walk up to your tranquil residential home and your neatly manicured lawn in your quiet suburban neighborhood, put the key in the lock, open the door, and... yes, the pets have gone wild! What were you thinking? Welcome to the show about everything you always wanted to know about exotic pets. Where to get them, what to feed them, and how to care for them. You'll even find out why some people live with a monkey. Now, here's your host, exotic pet expert and author, Bob Tarte. Hey, Bob, what were you thinking?
Hi, I'm Bob Tarte, author of the books Enslaved by Ducks and Foul Weather, and I'm here with...
oh, me.
book character Bill Holm. Hi, Bill.
Right. Book character Bill Holm.
This is Not a Non-Birding Show, Take 2, Part 2. Imagine that, because our Not a Non-Birding Show turned out to be just jam-packed this time. And so we're going to... this is kind of the analysis part of the show.
This is really the part everyone likes.
Yeah, because no one really cares about anything we do.
No, because we don't do anything.
No. So instead, people might care about the fact that we're wasting valuable time, and that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to talk a little bit about our experience. Our Not a Non-Birding Show Take 2 Part 1 was about a birding trip.
Wait. What was that? What was that one again?
Not a Non-Birding Show Take 2 Part 1.
Okay.
And that was about a birding expedition that actually yielded birds that book character Bill Holm and I just finished, you might say. My voice is a little bad.
What was that?
Well, the thing is...
is it the restaurant?
Well, no, it's doing these podcasts that I will have spoken for an hour doing 2 podcasts a day. And I usually don't speak for a half hour through the course of an entire week. Mm-hmm. It's not so much I'm a man of few words, as that there's no one who wants to talk to me, including my wife, right? Because she's too busy filling all the space herself.
Exactly. You really don't need to say anything.
Yes, dear. So it's a little hard on my voice, but I'll carry on.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. We're going to set the scene a little bit of where we were. And where we were was Magee Marsh. And
where's Magee Marsh again?
Magee Marsh is a little bit east of Toledo, Ohio, on Lake Erie. And what would you say, about 20 miles east or something like that?
I have no idea. It's at least 20 miles.
It's on Route 2. And it is quite a large place. It's right next to Ottawa National Wildlife Refuge, and it's part of Crane Creek, and it's a large nature preserve. And where we went in Magee Marsh is a little segment of it, and it's a boardwalk through a marsh, and for some reason, birds gather there in great number during the spring migration when they're about to fly across Lake Erie and spread out into wherever these warblers spend the summer. I guess a lot of them go to the north. Few of them settle in, right? Like the prothon,
Bob.
The prothonotary warbler that is signing legal documents. But those were settling in. They were setting up territory there, right?
So we hear.
And the oven birds and the refrigerator birds.
Well, they're just warming up.
They are. That's excellent. And the Bissell carpet cleaning birds. So there are a lot of interesting warblers there. In fact, since I mentioned a lot of interesting warblers, I have a list of the ones that we both saw.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bob made a list of every bird that he saw today.
I'm just doing the warblers, and this is interesting because it's not interesting, but this is...
it's interesting.
It's noteworthy because this has been an extraordinary summer at our house, Linda and my house, that we...
Please.
that we have seen 9 species of warblers in the last 2 weeks. We'll see maybe a couple a day, and that's pretty extraordinary for us. because usually we see one or two.
Yeah.
Well, today at Magee Marsh, we saw, between the two of us, is it 17 or 18?
In that neighborhood.
Okay, we saw Wilson's warbler, ovenbird, black-throated blue warbler, black-throated green warbler, magnolia warbler, Cape May warbler, bay-breasted warbler, northern water thrush, yellow-rumped warbler, chestnut-sided warbler, prothonotary warbler, black and white warbler, palm warbler, American redstart, common yellow throat, Nashville warbler, yellow warbler, and then Bill saw the Blackburnian warbler. And I don't want to give short shrift to the fact that at Metzger Marsh we also saw the orange crown warbler. It's a heck of a lot of warblers.
I didn't know there. And why? Why is the question?
Yeah, because you can go a couple miles in either direction, and you'll be on Route 2.
Well, I'm glad this place isn't on Route 2, because it would be a big mess. Because there were a lot of people there. I mean, it's hard to convey the size of the parking lot. I'd say it was a good football field long of parking.
I would say so too, and it isn't. And it was how many rows? I mean, several rows of cars.
At least 6 rows of cars, something like that. Maybe more, 8 rows. I don't know.
Right.
There were a lot of cars there, and there weren't a lot of empty spaces. And I just don't understand it. I mean, you got all these birds that go to this one little spot, you know.
It's a migrant trap. They call it a migrant trap.
Well, that doesn't sound very good.
No, it makes more sense in...
Sounds like something in Arizona.
It does. It makes more... It makes more sense like in... I can see in the eastern part of Michigan, it's all built up, and there's a few green areas that the birds like, and because everything else is built up, these are called... But I'm not sure why they choose this place, except it's more or less across from Point Pelee, and the birds like to go there. So
they all gather there.
It seems
for some reason, and they like to be together.
They do.
Why?
Some kind of bird unity.
Wow.
But so you get that, and then you get it's an event, as Bill would like to talk about that.
I did promise our listeners that I would discuss this in terms of...
You don't want to break their hearts.
No, I've been getting a lot of interesting emails and text messages about what I'm going to say.
Now, when Linda and me go birding, we'll go to places like Roselle Park in Ada, or we'll go to Fallsburg Park in Lowell, and people see us walking with binoculars and pass by with their eyes turned to the ground so that they don't have to talk to the people. Because obviously they're not fellow birders. You never see birders.
No.
I mean, you're looked at as sort of an oddball if you're carrying binoculars, and I can see why now, because I saw a lot of oddballs today.
There were nothing but oddballs, to tell you the truth.
And so here you have a place where you won't see someone there who is not a birder, wouldn't you say? Do you think there was one person at Magee Marsh today who was not a birder?
There may have been some people tending to some elderly people that weren't exactly birders, but just had to sort of guide them around.
And I saw a couple small children who didn't seem too happy to be spending perhaps a vacation day from school, having to follow mommy and daddy around looking at American redstarts.
Really, who wants to do that?
No. So it's very bizarre to be someplace where there are, you thought, thousands of people.
Well, it seemed that way.
There are certainly hundreds and hundreds.
The boardwalk is long, and there were some...
And the journey hard.
And there were some parts of that boardwalk that you could not walk to because they were clogged with birders. And, I felt a little uncomfortable because, I guess I'm not really a birder. I mean, I bird, but does that make me a birder? Now, there's another discussion that we could get into later.
Yes, much later.
So what was I talking about?
So it's very odd being at this place where it's just jammed
with people and birds co-located.
Right, but it's even odd seeing, I don't really think of birders as being generally very congenial, do you?
Oh, not at all.
I mean, quite often when we have been...
Least congenial.
No, I mean, this was an event today. But
Yes.
generally, if we go to Magee Marsh, and we've been before when it was not an event, and we'll see some birders, and I'll say hi, and the response is, "Ugh,"
Right.
or I'll ask a question.
They look straight ahead. They don't look at you. And they might grunt. You're right. There's just...
And sometimes if you ask questions of birders, they act a little put upon.
Exactly. They don't want to... Yeah, for one thing, they think you're trying to steal their bird.
Yeah, but yet today, it was a different kind of situation.
It was like Carnival in Rio.
It was.
Everyone was happy. Everyone was,
Well, I wouldn't say they were happy.
Well, nobody was happy. Compared to the way they were in that bunkhouse up at the visitor center, these people were, downright giddy.
I would say the people that looked the least happy on the boardwalk were the people lugging these absolutely monster cameras. These were basically telescopes attached to cameras. These were just huge, and they were lumbering along the boardwalk with them.
Practically knocking people over.
Right. And in fact, they would kind of walk backwards several steps to get a look at a bird when they're holding this monster telescope. And they didn't look happy to me. It looked like a lot of work. They spent a lot of money on these rigs. And, LA's fine, but it ain't home.
Exactly.
So, what can I say? So I didn't think those people looked too thrilled. In fact, there was one woman, she actually looked to me like she was on medication. You know the one?
Yeah, I do. Which one?
The one that looked like she was on medication.
Okay,
she just came by real slowly and had
kind of a little smart,
carrying that tripod. Yeah, carrying straight out. She was jousting.
Right.
So it was strange. And birds are, it's the weirdness of this place, because most of the time that I see birds, you will see a glimpse of a warbler. You'll see a glimpse of it, and then it's gone, because it sees me and it says, "Hey, buddy, I'm out of here."
Oh, they're notoriously shy.
They are. But here, it's like, what would you say? We're close by in Magee Marsh. It's within, 25 miles of Cedar Point. Cedar Point is a well-known amusement park. It's only well-known because, it doesn't take much to pass as... It doesn't take much to pass as entertainment in Ohio.
Well, yeah, anything will do.
Yeah, and so Cedar Point is this amusement park, and I would say that Magee Marsh is sort of Bill, I think you made a remark about that it's sort of a... It wasn't me. It's sort of a Cedar Point for birders.
It is. I think I did make that remark. It is a Cedar Point for birders. And it's amazing that you actually see birds. That's the strange thing. At Cedar Point, you're not going to see any birds.
No, you'll see elephant ears.
Yeah, right.
And you'll see really, really heavy people. But
and a lot of vomit.
Yeah, but not really any of that here.
No, none of that.
No. So it's just very peculiar, and you would almost think that the whole place is screened in and that these were captive birds.
That's what I thought exactly. Like, this is a giant cage that we're all in together.
Well, we are. That's what life is.
Whoa.
But I never thought of the birds as being trapped in the same net of existence as we are. Willingly.
There are other places they could go.
They can fly away home.
If they had to, yeah.
I have to go back to work.
They could hop on a boat and go across Lake Erie if they want.
Yeah, and that's where they're headed, I think. So we will ruminate on this a little further. We're at just about at the halfway point. You are listening to What Were You Thinking? And this is not a non-bird birding show. Take 2, part 2, with Bob Tarte and book character Bill Holm, doing a podcast for Pet Life Radio in the house that Jack built. And we will be right back.
What Were You Thinking? We'll be right back after Bob gets the ducks out of his living room. Don't go away.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses.
Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No?
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition, I guarantee it. Petco, where the healthy pets go.
Enter the code WHAT, W-H-A-T, and save 10% on orders of $65 or more, plus free shipping at petco.com.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, who you can trust.
Go to angieslist.com/thinking and get 25% off any subscription. That's angieslist.com/thinking. THINKING.
Whether they're big, small, hairy, or whatever, you're going to need gear for your feet. And Kids Foot Locker's got all the great shoes and gear that'll get you in the game.
Go to kidsfootlocker.com. Enter the code AFWHT1KF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFWHT2KF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at kidsfootlocker.com.
And cover those funky feet.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to petmeds.com/what, W-H-A-T, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more.
There's a movement afoot, ShoeBuy.com. Join the millions of people who shop ShoeBuy.com's over 400 brands and 500,000 products. Order now and get free shipping and free return shipping. ShoeBuy.com, the world's greatest shoe store.
Walk your dog in style and comfort. Enter the code THINKING, THINKING, at checkout and get a 10% discount plus free shipping at ShoeBuy.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Megan Blake here with my sidekick, Super Smiley, the giant mutt and spokes dog for throwaways. You're listening to Pet Life Radio, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new show, A Super Smiley Adventure. Our show explores adventures with animals. They can be traveling, out in the world trips, or inner journeys where our animals lead us to inspiration and self-discovery, or just plain fun adventures. Join us here on Pet Life Radio on A Super Smiley Adventure. Good boy.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. Okay, ducks are in the pond, rabbits in his hutch, and monkeys... Ow! In my car! Oh, okay, well, I go check my insurance policy. We'll turn you back over to Bob.
Hi, we're back. And we're having a great time.
The house that Jack built.
Well, that was such a long intro to the commercial with so many phrases at the end. It was, this is the cat that ate the rat, that chased the mouse, that buried the louse, that lived in the house that Jack built. I'm losing my voice.
The cat that swallowed the canary.
That's how my voice is. But the people, so it's this very, very weird, unlike any other kind of nature experience, wouldn't you say?
No, absolutely. People who are bird like to be alone. They like nature. They like, to be one with. It's a challenge to find birds. That's part of the fun of birding, as I understand it. And you feel, as one guy said that we talked to, if you see a Tennessee warbler, it's like a great accomplishment.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's I think it is viewed that way.
Mm-hmm.
But here, it's not an accomplishment.
Well, and the people had this weird combination of being congenial but still being separate.
Well, they're birders.
Yeah.
They can't help it.
But it's this odd combination of helping you and still ignoring you. Didn't you think so? I mean, they're still kind of all in their tiny little groups, generally groups of two, like a husband and wife who are bound together, dragging one another from continent to continent, looking at... I mean, we saw a lot of British people.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Think of their lives.
I know. I was kind of thinking about that.
Think of coming to Northern Ohio for a destination.
Yeah. And who's the driving force in making that kind of decision in a relationship?
Well, it's got to be the wife.
It has to be.
Yeah, enough said. I just meant Linda's on the phone. Oh, okay. But the people, the thing that's so odd about it too is how little work it was to see birds there.
That's what I mean. It's not a challenge at all. You cannot help but see birds. You could go in there purposefully saying, I am not going to see one bird, and within 10 feet, you'll see a prothon.
Yes, a prothon, indeed. And there's really two ways you can see birds there. Number one is you can just stand there, and most of the birds will come to you.
Right.
And that's odd.
Mm-hmm.
And the other way is the thing that I guess we both did is kind of trudging slowly along the boardwalk, because you can't walk too fast because you'll bump into somebody with one of their idiot 10-foot-long cameras.
Exactly.
So we're trudging along, and I would just look for a whole group of people pointing their binoculars at some direction, and then you walk over and say, what you got? Mm-hmm. And when they understood that I wasn't making some sort of off-color suggestion and that I was actually asking about a bird.
Well, most of the time.
Most of the time. Then they would tell me the bird they were looking at, and sometimes it was a good one.
Well, that's how I saw the Blackburnian.
Yes, thank you. That was the one bird I wanted to see.
That's when I was lost. I mean, in case you don't recall, I got lost on the boardwalk.
I recall. I think you knew there was a Blackburnian, and you just went right past it, right past me, hoping to see the bird. But so it was a very, very strange, very weird way to see birds, because it's so...
One might think that the birds were watching the people.
That's true.
Because they come by, they're like right over your head.
Well, and talk about the prothonotary, the star.
This beautiful prothonotary warbler.
It's this bright yellow bird.
Bright yellow and very nice, just a beautiful bird. And so all these people are going, ooh, ooh, and it's kind of a little dark in there. It's quite shady, and so this warbler perched himself on the top of this little branch, sort of in the midway among everybody that was got a camera pointing at him, and then all of a sudden everyone takes their pictures and all these flashes start going off.
Yeah, these people with expensive cameras have these fill flashes or something, and you see pop, 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 pop.
And this warbler just sits there posing while these flashes are going off. It was just like the red carpet at the opening
at Caesar Salad.
Caesar Salad.
Yeah. And I've just never seen anything like that.
I haven't either. I for one thing, that the bird was he was posing. It really looked like he was.
Yeah, it's so strange because it's such
You think it would startle him.
And it's such a beautiful natural setting.
Yes.
And yet the whole experience it's just bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very unnatural.
It is unnatural, yet the only thing unnatural about it is the boardwalk, if you think about it. I mean, you got trees, you got people, you got birds. I saw a frog.
You did see a frog.
And so it's a weird confluence of a number of things.
Well, I guess have to think...
Of the next question?
Yeah. So tomorrow, this is still Monday night, and we're still kind of riding the wave of this fantastic experience.
The adrenaline is pumping.
Yeah, I mean, I was very pleased by the whole thing. It really was wonderful. It was the unreality of it. I have to say, I think I really liked that part of it, because you can't explain it to anybody. It's so weird.
What I liked about it was that it was just so easy to see the birds.
Yes. Yeah, I like that too.
That's
it was
why
remarkable.
Everybody's there.
I mean, if when Linda and I go birding, we always joke and call it non-birding because it's so hard to see anything.
Right.
You go this place and it's, as Bill said, it's just too easy. So we're going to try and go again tomorrow and we'll let you know if anything has changed. We might not be able to go tomorrow because it might be raining.
Truth be told, we've run out of things to say tonight in our roundtable discussion.
We have.
And so we're hoping we might think of something.
That's really all there is to
later.
It. So we'll check in tomorrow. Bill, you make it over here?
What?
So you might be able to hear the surf behind us. We finally we're back on day 2 of our Not a Non-Birding birding show, take 2, part 2, and we just managed to fight our way through the crowds and get out of the boardwalk at Magee Marsh. Some ways it was a spectacular morning, and in other ways it was harder work than yesterday because of the amount of people.
That's a brilliant analysis, and I agree fully. It's sort of like life itself.
We noticed, right away, there were just so many people at the front of the boardwalk who had just arrived. There were just masses of people.
You couldn't even walk.
No, you couldn't walk.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. And you had to push your way through. There was one guy in a mobility cart, and I'm wondering if he really needed that, or if that was just a way to, clear the people out of the way.
Oh, that was me.
I thought that looked like you. Where did you get that thing?
You can rent them.
Darn. All right, I'm doing that next time. But good day for birds. We saw some.
Excellent day for birds.
I saw a Blackburnian warbler, which I didn't see yesterday. We both saw a blackpoll, which was a new one.
Very new.
And a Canada, which was
that
a new
was
one
a thrill.
for us. That was a thrill. And there were probably 3 or 4 Canadas,
oh,
don't
yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Canada, your maple leaf is flying. Is that how it goes?
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that. But, so, it was a little bit unpleasant this morning.
But, in a way, well, not in a way, it was worth it. Sometimes you have to work to see birds. Yesterday, we're in part 1, or maybe it was part 2 of part 1.
Section B.
Of Section B, where we talked about the amount of people, and we talked about the other stuff. So that the effortlessness of birding here is you pay for it by the effort of just being there, with all those people just trying to get around and see something.
Yeah, and a lot of times it was just very difficult to make progress at all. There were so many people on the boardwalk. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It was just...
It was. I made the remark as I walked by a particular thing, and I said, this looks like a carnival ride. Because there was this big line of people trying to get up to this viewing platform to see, a warbler?
Yeah. And I thought it was crowded yesterday. Would you say this was 3 times as many people, or maybe not that much?
Possibly. There was a lot more people, though.
Yeah.
And maybe because it's earlier.
Bill found a veery. Bill found it.
I started a flash mob on the boardwalk by saying, look, a veery.
And
this, out of nowhere, people started swarming around.
Yeah, and they knocked you down and stomped on
That's
you.
Right.
You all right?
That's my bird. No, I'm not all right. I have a contusion.
So I guess the question would be for you, is this something you'd want to come back again and do next year?
Well, possibly. It depends on my schedule.
All right.
But it sounds like a good thing to do.
Well,
it is a good thing to do. Because if you're at all interested in birds and seeing especially unusual birds that you'll never see again in your entire life, come here to Magee Marsh.
Saw blue-headed vireo today, 2 or 3 of them. Philadelphia vireo, Philadelphia cheesecake, cheesesteak.
And cheesecake. That was pretty good.
That's in the little truck.
There's
that's
a special
in the parking
viewing
lot.
platform for that.
Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed. Is that the right word? We hope you
made it through.
We hope you were
survived.
educated by. Oh, there are more people with those big cameras today too. Were you talking about that one guy?
There was a guy that took up the whole viewing platform with his tripod. He was a big guy himself.
Yeah, and everybody had to hop into the water and slosh through, and then get back on the boardwalk. It was a mess.
It was terrible. It was very selfish.
Yeah,
and I just don't understand. He didn't even care.
Nope.
He just says, "This is my spot. I'm going to sit here and keep everyone else from using this."
So I hope you learned a little bit about birds in this installment, and really it's about...
And a little about us, too.
Well, what it is, this is about the relationship between people and birds. And that's an important relationship in the world.
Wow.
Like me and my parrot.
I haven't thought of it. Well, that's a different kind of relationship. Yeah. But I hadn't thought of it that way. But this is bringing species together.
It is. So thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm Bob Tarte, and please visit my website, bobtarte.com. And also find me on Facebook, and you can find Bill Holm on Facebook, too. But do you want anyone to friend you who listens to this?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So look for us on Facebook, and email me at bob@petliferadio.com. Thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, and thanks to all of you for listening. Bye-bye.
Thinking about buying a monkey? How about a ferret or a skunk? Then check out the show that will answer the burning questions. Where do you get them? What do you feed them? How do you take care of them? And most of all, what were you thinking? With exotic pet expert and author Bob Tarte. Every week on demand from PetLifeRadio.com.